Hello, and welcome to this full body yoga class suitable for complete beginners. This entire practice will be done standing, so there'll be no weight on the knees if you happen to have sensitive knees. We'll move through a few common yoga poses, taking plenty of time in each so that you have a chance to get familiar with them. I recommend having a sturdy box or a stack of books nearby that come up to somewhere along your shin when you place them on the floor, and we'll be using those in a standing forward fold later on. So when you're ready, we'll get started standing on the mat. To come into mountain pose, stand up tall with your feet under your hips. Toes are pointing forward. Knees are softly bent, so they're not locked out. Hips are stacked over your ankles. Your shoulders are stacked over your hips. And your head is stacked over your chest. And your hands can be turning in towards your legs, or palms can face forward, your choice. And take a moment to close down your eyes here if that feels safe, or you can keep a soft gaze to the end of your nose. And do a quick body scan here, noticing how each part of your body feels today, without judgment. And notice if there's any part of the body that you need to be a little more mindful of as we move into the physical practice. And all together, take a deep breath in through the nose and open the mouth to sigh it out. We'll take two more like that. Big breath in through the nose and open the mouth, sigh it out. One more breath in and out. And now breathe in and out through your nose. And we'll start to warm up the body. You can open up the eyes if you had them closed and bring your hands onto your hips. So we'll start with a couple of gentle neck stretches. As you inhale, lift the nose up towards the sky, gaze up, and exhale to lower the chin towards the chest. Inhale to lift the chin, look up, and exhale to lower. One more time, inhale to gaze up, and exhale, bring it down. Bring your head back to center. And we're going to get a little bit of movement into the shoulders now. As you inhale, circle the arms up overhead, reaching high. And exhale to bring the arms back down by your sides. And if you feel like you want to move your neck a little more, you can incorporate that into this movement. Inhaling to reach the arms up, looking up towards your hands. And exhale the arms back down by your sides, maybe tucking chin to chest. Inhale to rise it up, arms reach high. And exhale to lower it down. One more time, inhale to rise up, look up, and exhale, arms by your side. Bring your head back to center, hands come back onto your hips, and come up onto the ball of the right foot, bringing a little weight into the left leg, and rotate the right knee out to the side, turning from the hip, and the toes are rotating out as well. And then rotate that knee back to center and then turn it slightly in. Rotate the hip out, turning the knee to the side and rotate it in. One more time, we'll rotate that hip out for external rotation and then rotate it in for internal rotation. Bring the knee back to center, lower the heel to the floor, and we'll take that to the other side. Bring the weight into your right foot, lift the left heel up off the mat. And when you're there, turn the left knee out to the side, moving from the hip, and then turn the knee back to center and turn it in slightly. Bring the knee out, and turn it in, keeping the toes on the floor during the whole movement. One more time to turn the knee out, and one more time to turn the knee in. Bring the knee back to center, lower the heel, and now we're going to warm up into the knee joints a little bit. So bring your hands onto your knees and sit your butt down slightly. Walk your feet together so that the big toes are touching or almost touching. And then we're going to start to circle the knees, moving nice and slow here. And we're also getting into the ankle joints with this movement as the knees come over the ankles. And these circles can be as big or as small as you need today. And when you're ready, circle the knees in the opposite direction, getting the joints moving and warming up the muscles. Lovely. And then bring your knees back to center, straighten your legs, and rise back up into mountain pose. Bring your hands back onto your hips now and reach your left hand up to the sky. Really reach that hand up as high as you can, and then lean over to the right, bumping the hips a little to the left. And can you turn your chest open? So as if you're trying to turn your chest to the left, moving through the rib cage. Breathe here. And then push into that right hand to help you lift back up to center. Bring the left hand to the hip. Right hand circles up high. Inhale as you reach that right hand up as high as you can. And then exhale to lean over to the left. Hips bump to the right. Keep a soft bend in the knees and turn the chest open to the right, maybe looking in under that right arm. And hold here. And then using your left hand to help guide you back to center and sweep the right arm down back onto your hips. So we're going to come into a couple of warrior poses now. If you have your box handy, I recommend placing it in front of you at the mat. So you're standing facing the long edge of the mat like I am, and you could just place your box here. I'm going to keep mine off to the side so that you can see what I'm doing, but I'll move it in when we go to use it. So bring your hands onto your hips and step your feet out nice and wide as you comfortably can. Keep your toes pointing forward. Your edges of your feet are parallel with the short edge of your mat. So take a moment to settle in here, find a comfortable position. And then from here, we're going to turn the left toes to the front of the mat, towards the front, the short edge of the mat. Bend the left knee, bringing the knee over the ankle. Make sure the toes are pointing in the same direction as the knee, and stack your shoulders over your hips. Once you've settled in there, sweep your arms out to the side, coming into warrior two. Make sure that your arms are on the same level, so the front arm and the back arm are at horizontal with the floor. And then look out over your left middle finger. And try and find a little engagement in the legs here. So really grounding down through all parts of the legs, the feet, excuse me. And sometimes there's a tendency for that back foot, for the pinky toes to lift up. So especially think about grounding down through the pinky toe side of that back foot. We'll breathe here, settling into your version of warrior two. And now coming to extended side angle, bring your right hand, that's the back hand, onto your hip, bend the left elbow and rest the left forearm on the left thigh, keeping a bend in that front knee. Using your hand, turn the rib cage to the right, so you're opening it out as if you're stacking your shoulders one on top of the other. An option to stay here with the hand on the hip, or you might sweep that arm up over your ear, reaching towards the front of the mat. And if you're not familiar with Warrior Two, with the warrior poses, the bent knee is usually called the front knee here, the front leg. So keep the chest turning open. Keep reaching your right arm over your ear. And now sweep the right hand back to your hip and lift yourself back up into Warrior Two. Straighten that front leg for a moment to give that front thigh a rest. And then we're going to bend that knee again, bringing knee over ankle. Bring your right hand to the right leg. Left hand reaches forward with the palm facing up this time. And then lean back, sweeping the left hand up and over. Slide the right hand down the leg. Keep the bend in the front knee. And feel that lovely stretch through the left side of the body here in reverse warrior. Remember to keep the engagement through the feet, ground down through the pinky toe of the right foot. When you're ready, rise back up into Warrior Two. Hands onto your hips, straighten the front leg, turn the left toes in so they're back parallel, and then you can walk your feet together, give them a little shake out. Give them a little break before we move to the other side. And you might like to roll out your ankles here if they're feeling like they've been working hard. All right, let's take it to the other side. Step your feet nice and wide again with the hands on the hips, making sure the edges of those feet are parallel with the short edge of the mat. And then turn the right toes to the short edge of the mat this time. So this time this is going to be the front of our mat. Bend the right knee, bringing knee over ankle, and sweep the arms out to the side. And remember to try and keep the weight even between both feet, grounding into all corners of the feet, and keep the shoulders stacked over the hips so you're not leaning too far forward and you're not leaning too far back. And when you're ready, look out over the right middle finger and come back to your breath. Now coming into our extended side angle, bring the left hand onto the hip, bend the right elbow and rest the right forearm on the right thigh. Turn the rib cage to the left, opening out, stacking the shoulders one on top of the other. Option to stay here with hand on hip, or sweep the left arm up over your ear, reaching the left fingertips away, palm is facing down. And remember to keep that bend in the front leg. Sometimes it wants to straighten, especially when it's working hard here. Breathe in and breathe out. Bring the left hand back to the hip. Use the right arm to help you rise back up into Warrior Two. Straighten that front leg for a moment. Give it a break. Maybe bringing hands to hips. You might like to roll out the shoulders here also. If they're starting to feel tired, rolling them in one direction and roll them in the opposite direction. And now bend that front knee again, right knee over right ankle. Bring left hand down the back leg, reach the right hand forward with the palm facing up, and then reach that right hand up and back, sliding the left hand down the left leg. And really think about reaching that right hand as high as you can, and then maybe starting to bring it closer to the ear, reaching it back. Keep the right knee bent and keep breathing. And now bring the right hand forward again, slide back up into Warrior Two, reach the arms out to the side for a moment, and then bring your hands onto your hips, straighten the front leg, and turn the right toes in, coming back into that wide-legged stance. So stay there. I'm just going to grab the block, or the box, excuse me. And this is where we're going to be using the box. So in your wide-legged stance, you're starting up nice and tall, and we're going to come into a wide-legged forward fold here. But I don't want you to just like round your back over into it, which is okay, but we want to think about having engagement and activity in the legs and in the back as we move into it. So start with your hands on the hips. I want you to keep your chest reaching up towards your chin, back flat, as you push your hips back in space as if you were trying to tap them off the wall behind you. And then once your hips have moved back as far as you can, and it'll start to lean you forward as you do, bring your hands down onto your box. And if you can reach the floor, or if you think you can reach the floor, you're welcome to move the box away, coming onto your fingertips on the floor. So once you lean down here, keeping the back flat, you might find that you feel like you can walk the feet out a little bit wider. And if you can, feel free to do so, but make sure you keep the toes pointing in the same direction as your head. Edges of the feet are parallel with the short edge of the mat. And then from here, bring your right hand under your nose into the middle of the box, and then turn the chest to the left and sweep the left hand up. So you're twisting to the left in this wide-legged position. Keep grounding down through the outer edges of your feet and keep a slight bend in the knees so we're not locking out. And you may find it more comfortable to take a little bit more of a bend into the right knee in this twist. And now bring that left hand down to the ground with control onto your box, in the middle of the box, under the nose, and we're going to take that to the other side. Slight more of a bend in the left knee. Turn your chest to the right and then sweep the right hand up into the air. And keep actively turning through the ribs so the turn is coming from the waist. And now slowly bring the right hand back to the box. And we're going to let our back round down now. So keep your hands on the box or on the floor. Soft bend in the knees. Push the hips back a little more if you can. And then relax the back. Relax the head and neck. Letting yourself round forward. And even though we're relaxing the back here, we're still keeping the engagement in the legs. You might like to nod your head yes or shake it no to encourage the back of that neck to relax a little more, allowing the head to hang freely here. To lift up, we're going to push into the hands to lift ourselves back up to center, flat back. Soften the knees a little more. Bring your hands onto your hips and then use the strength of your legs to rise back up, bringing shoulders over hips. And now walk the feet together. You'll probably need to shake out the ankles, shake out the legs after all that effort. Maybe rolling around the ankles again, giving the knees a little shake, maybe lifting up one leg to roll out the ankles and lift up the other. Lovely. So now we're going to come into a gentle standing back bend. Hands are on your hips and walk your hands a little bit further back onto your lower back. Fingers are kind of coming onto the hips and the thumbs are coming towards each other on the lower back. Feet are hip width distance. And start to squeeze the elbows together, squeezing the shoulder blades towards each other, And as you do so, you're moving the top of this arm back in space. And you might stay here as you might feel a stretch along the front of the chest and the front of the shoulder. You might start to puff the chest up towards the sky, actively reaching that chest up, and you might find that the shoulders start to lean back as you do so. And then final option, to gently push the hips forward, bending the knees slightly more, coming into a little bit more of a back bend, and keep the gaze up towards the ceiling rather than letting the head flop back. Keep breathing here, and as you inhale, feel that front of the body stretch out. And exhale. Now, if you're in this deeper back bend, come out of it nice and slowly. Use the support of your hands on your lower back to lift your shoulders up, back over your hips, and then relax your arms down by your sides. Close down your eyes. Feel all that lovely energy moving through the body. And on your next exhale, slowly turn your head to the right, looking over the right shoulder. Inhale the head back to center. And exhale it over to the left. Keep this movement going now, moving nice and slow, inhaling the head back to center and exhaling it to turn it to the side. Swapping over between the sides in your own rhythm. And next time you bring your head back to center, pause there. Eyes are closed or softly gazing down towards the tip of the nose. Sides of the neck relax. Shoulders drop away from the ears. Slight bend to the knees so they're not locked out. And find a position here where you feel strong and steady. And notice if there's anywhere in your body that you can let go of effort a little bit more. Relax your jaw if it's clenched. Relax your eyebrows and that space between the brows where we tend to furrow and hold a lot of tension. And take this final moment to notice how you feel. How do you feel in your body and in your mind after taking this time to move and to practice a little self-care? And when you're ready, open up your eyes. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to see more practices like this, give the video a like and let me know down in the comments, and consider subscribing to the channel. I hope to see you again at the next one. Bye bye.